Car. Actually, only 3 cities on Earth are worse. Why is that happened? Moscow road network is relatively poor developed. Comparison between 3 megalopolises Moscow, London and New York, will be a good demonstration. Total road length in Moscow is 5,000 kilometers only. In London there are 13,500 kilometers of roads. And New York numbers are even bigger, its road length is almost 30,000 kilometers. It could be said differently. Roads take only 8.7% of the Moscow total area. Comparing to 25% in London or 30% in New York. Even Tokyo and Seoul, two of the world's most cramped cities, had around 13%. Half as much against Moscow. Going from numbers to structure, Moscow road network had quite a low connectivity coefficient. It means that paths from point A to point B will rarely have many route choices. All mentioned above could be demonstrated visually. There are pictures of the random districts of Moscow, New York, and London. It is easy to notice that Moscow road network is at a disadvantage. Moreover, in Moscow there is almost no place for new roads. And definitely not enough place to broaden road network even to match Seoul numbers. Needless to say about London or New York, it is impossible to build new roads because of districts planning in Soviet time. According to USSR standards there should be only 90 cars per 1,000 people. That's the reason why city architects did not bother themselves building a wide roads. As a result, building new roads without destruction of living houses, or damaging the communications, is extremely difficult. Current Moscow roads could handle around 1 million cars simultaneously. It is about 80 cars per 1,000 people at the same time. Compare it with New York, which roads could handle around 7 million cars simultaneously. It is about 350 cars per 1,000 people, on the roads, at the same time. Good news here is that the number of cars in Moscow is relatively small. There are 350 cars per 1,000 people in Moscow. While London has 650 cars, and New York has 900 cars per 1,000 people. But now Russia is one of the biggest car markets in the world. With 1 million annually increment in the cars number. It means, then in a few years, total amount of cars in Moscow will match London numbers. Take all of the described statements. Then add a buses that stacked in traffic. An underground that already works at maximum capacity. And weather that makes bikes unusable for 6 months a year. And you will see the picture of transport apocalypse. This is, of course, without mentioning such special Russian conditions as senators using a cars with a flasher, corrupt practices, and very poor driving culture in general.